You know, it was kind of a risky move if you think about it. I mean, we've had that name for 30 years and we have the highest awareness in the segment. So definitely a risky move to change the name. But when we looked at it and we had changed so much on the vehicle, you know, this was our first new platform for a minivan in many generations. We started from the ground up as a minivan platform to address everything that we thought we needed to improve on the van. And then on top of changing the architecture itself, we revamped everything in the powertrain, we revamped the interior, the safety, and the infotainment. When we got done, every single part of the van had been touched, improved, and was at a best-in-class level. So we said, you know what, it's time, it's justified, let's change the name. And if you look back at Pacifica, when Pacifica first came out, there was no such thing as a crossover. This was really a three-row people mover that was really the start of the crossover, and people didn't even know what to call it at the time. It was really kind of a groundbreaking merge of a couple of different vehicles, and that's what we see the new minivan as, because if you look at it, sure, it's got two sliding doors, so it's definitely a minivan. And we're not trying to say it's not a minivan, but it's longer, lower, wider, sleeker, more athletic, and with the 20-inch wheels, at first glance, you really don't notice what it is, which is really what the Pacifica was. So we thought the name fit perfectly and signaled a change so that when people heard, hey, the new Pacifica, they would think, I'm not sure what that is. I've got to check that out.
I think that's absolutely terrific. And I actually was a fan of the Pacifica when it was released in the 2000s.
That was a great car.
What are the most innovative features that set this one apart from the competition?
Well, probably the biggest one that's getting a lot of attention, obviously, is the hybrid. It's the world's first, world's only 80 mile per gallon hybrid minivan. What's interesting about that is most of the time when you see hybrid technology, you see it on a small commuter type vehicle. What we found was minivan owners generally drive about 30 miles per day. And we were able to put a very large battery pack in our stow and go tubs, which allows us to get a full battery mode of range of 30 miles. So most of the people that drive this hybrid will actually be able to use it on their daily errands every day without using the gas engine at all. So it really is the perfect hybrid vehicle. And then, as you know, it'll switch into gas mode and you can get 530 mile range without ever having to worry about anything. It really is a completely hassle-free hybrid. Now, if you go to the gas version, really everything has been changed. So you've got the easiest doors to operate in the industry. You've got the kick wave technology to open the back door, so hands-free liftgate, hands-free sliding doors. Once you get in, we've got new stow and go, one-touch operation, so it's easier to use than it's ever been. One-touch operation moves everything out of the way, and then the seats actually slide into the floor instead of tumbling into the floor, so they're a lot easier. They're more comfortable than they've ever been. And then the entertainment system, really, this is going to be really fun for the kids. You have an 8-inch screen in the front, a 20-speaker Harman Kardon surround sound system, and then two 10-inch screens built into the back seats for the kids that can actually communicate with each other and with the front head unit. So you can be playing content on all three. You can be playing content on them individually. You can stream it. You can have it wired in. You can have it Bluetooth to those screens. And there's even games loaded into the screen. So the kids can be playing bingo against each other, or the front navigation can talk to the back navigation, so the kids never have to ask, how long is it going to be till we get to the destination, except the back screen, when it shows the navigation, it's actually in a cartoon format so they can follow along and know how much longer they have.
Those are some really cool features, and it should definitely keep the kids quiet, especially on long trips. For the hybrid, does it require any special hookup or electrical power to recharge it?
Well, it's a plug-in hybrid, so it does require you to plug it in. But you don't have to, and that's what we tell everybody. That's why we call it a hassle-free hybrid. You can literally lose the plug, never plug it in, and it'll operate like a normal 3.6-liter Pentastar-equipped gas engine minivan. If you do plug it in, that will get you 28 miles per gallon, which is best in class. If you do plug it in, then you'll get to the full 80 miles per gallon.
So the minivan segment isn't as hot as it used to be, and many people feel the days are numbered for it. Why is FCA sticking with the segment?
Well, you know, it's true. If you look at the numbers, we're selling about, or the industry sells about 500,000 minivans right now. Every year, there's 500,000 people that buy a minivan. Now, at the peak of minivan sales, it was over 1 million. So if you look at hard numbers, you say from 1 million down to 500,000, the segment has dropped quite a bit as SUVs and crossovers and other alternatives have come into the market. But what's important is, and the reason why this is very good business for us, in addition to inventing the segment, when there was 1 million units being sold, there were 16 competitors. Now at 500,000, there's really only 4 main volume competitors, and 2 of the 4 are ours, the Dodge and the Chrysler. So at 125,000 units a piece out of that 500,000, it's really good business for us because on a per nameplate allocation, that's the hottest that segment's ever been.
Yeah, and when you think of minivan, I absolutely think of Dodge and Chrysler at the top of my mind because you guys really invented the segment.
Yep.
So it like goes hand in hand.
And it's funny that people talk about the 500,000 unit size of the segment because if you look at it right now, you got over 40 brands in the industry, you got over 290 different nameplates out there. Each of the segments are getting more and more fragmented. If you look, we just launched a new Charger and a new Challenger, on my Dodge side of my job. Mustang just launched their new car, Camaro just launched their new car, and in that muscle car segment, nobody ever says, hey, why did you invest in that segment? It's a small segment. It's actually 25% smaller than the minivan segment and has the same number of players. So we look at it and say, hey, the minivan segment is a very viable segment. It's actually bigger than the muscle car segment.
Wow. It seems that you guys really thought about the new minivan from the ground up and how to be a major player in it. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out compared to the competition.
Well, I'll tell you that this new van is actually designed by our owners. We've sold 14 million minivans. We still have 6 million in operation today, and we went and talked to those people on what they wanted. So a lot of this van has been designed by them.
That's incredible, and it's really important to ask the people who drive the vehicles exactly what you want in future vehicles because it really helps. Like, they're the stars of it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Tim. I can't wait to share this video with my readers, and, I can't wait to get inside the new Chrysler Pacifica myself.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Take care.